live. Once again tonight we are playing The Crimson Diamond, a video game about a diamond that is not bright red, but was found in the town of Crimson inside a fish. Yeah, just gotta get a blue sky message out, letting people know that we're a going and a grinning and a picking. Dare I say it? Hope people are having a nice night tonight. I have been so deeply bone tired down to the very heart and core of my existence. So we're just gonna chill out, solve some mysteries. Just typing away on the old phone. Having a calm little type fest for myself, you know? You just ever just type some stuff into your phone and just kind of like think about how nice it is to have thumbs? A bit ableist, I guess, how I think about it, but that's life, you know? I am really rambly tonight. Okay, well, I've tweeted a link to the, not tweet, I've twitched a link, no, Blue Sky'd a link to the Twitch. I'm so tired and so stupid tonight. It's gonna be really fun. Let's load up. I'll stop talking. No, I won't. I still have to talk. Alright, it's chapter 2. It's daytime. It's time for we're supposed to be leaving the lodge at this point, but wouldn't you know it, bridge blew up, so. I'm sipping some coffee, so you'll hear me get smarter as the stream goes on. Because that's what coffee do to Will. Oh, is there something going on in the bathroom? Nope, just a door I left open. Still don't entirely know whether this is the kind of game that will just kill you. It killed me the one time. Alright, I'm still reading all the voices. Tonight, the Tacoma Narrows Bridge disaster. Yes, Neil. Nancy, are you ready to go now? Yes, I think so. You and Kibby follow the dirt path to the carriage house. You find yourself falling behind as you marvel at your surroundings, the first time you're seeing the grounds of the lodge in daylight. You're surrounded by greens of every shade. The trees are taller than most buildings back home. They stand densely in countless numbers as far as your eye can see, swaying slightly in the breeze. As you near the carriage house, you can hear the distant roar of a waterfall. The land feels alive. There you are. Come now. We gotta make the train. We've got to make the train. Gotta get all these voices back again. Pretty, Right, let's go. Jack drives you and Kimmy back to the train station. The car ride seems a lot shorter this time, maybe because you can see your surroundings. Wait here. I'm gonna check the telegraph machine in the station. You wait in silence. Early morning in the deserted town is so quiet, it nearly makes your ears ring. Did you just hear Jack gasp? Hello, 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 Wealthy Aardvark. Jack's taking quite a long time there. I'm going to check on him. Whoa. Hey, I told you to wait outside. Jack looks agitated. He stuffs a strip of telegraph paper tape into his pocket. What's wrong, Jack? We're going back to the lodge. Bridge is out. Don't know how long. Oh, dear. Oh, by the way, any of you folks know someone called Carl? Is John feeling any better? I think he was doing a little better today. Hopefully, maybe it'll pop up in chat, but he is still not lung ready for the big show. So, we're having another night of just hanging out, playing some stuff on Steam. I might switch over to Isaac about halfway through the stream tonight. Depends on how I'm feeling, but we'll see. No, never mind. Well, why do you ask, Jack? Telegraph in the station for him. It was printed off on the machine after my message, so I cut it and pinned it to the board out inside. That's how messages get passed on to people in this area. It's a decent system.
Well, I'm going to send a message to my superiors. Wait here.
What happened to the bridge, Jack? An accident. The train can't get to Crimson. Looks like we're stuck with you for now. Jack looks over at Kimmy. Looks like you got your wish, eh? But like I said before, leave the cormorants alone. You're doing a lot of voices. Isaac can let you rest. Yeah, I'm just trying to make it, really cinematic. I know people. There's something that people come to my streams for. It's cinematic presentations of either classic adventure games or adventure games in a classic style. And I know some people would argue that I've drifted away from that with the focus on character action. Will, what's a cormorant? It's a bird, Neil. You heard me trying to come up with like a funny thing to say, like it's a rant delivered by a cormo, by Perry Como, but like, no, it's a bird. It's some kind of bird. Hi, Josiah. It's some kind of fucking bird. I don't know. Don't ask me what kind of bird. Winged? Corm store. The Corm store load. Kimmy flushes but keeps quiet. You stand in tense, awkward silence until Albert reappears in the train station's doorway.
I'm ready. Let's be off.
The journey back to the lodge is so rushed and bumpy, there are times where you're afraid you'll bounce right out of the automobile. It's far too noisy to even attempt conversation. Albert leans back in his seat, impassive. Kimmy, whom you'd come to believe was a kind and quiet sort, looks pretty nervous, and maybe even a little angry. Jack is mostly silent, white-knuckled hands wrapped around the steering wheel. You realize you don't really know any of these people. I can't let myself be distracted. I have a job to do. When I get back to the lodge, I'm going to start my field work. It's been a long morning. I'm going to put the kettle to boil if any of you want some tea. You hear Jack mutter something under his breath about needing to see Evan.
After I fetch my field kit and change into my field clothes, I'll be commencing my field work. Please do not disturb me.
I'm going out to get a breath of fresh air. Starring Terry Gross. Well, I guess I have my work cut out for me. I still wonder what happened with my kit on the train. Well, I certainly can't dwell on that. To obtain samples, I'll need a few basic tools. A geologist's pick, or something similarly sharp and strong. A hammer that, when used with the pick, will help me chip off samples of rock. A small shovel to dig into the riverbed. And a streak plate to test the hardness of the minerals I find. Oh, something made of porcelain would do the trick. I think Jack mentioned that cormorants like to nest on cliff faces. That might be a good place to get a sample. I should also check on Albert's fieldwork. Maybe I can learn a few things. Oh, I hope I can finally do a bit of digging. Literally! Kimmy Schmidt, ass woman. You open the main door and go outside. Oh, it's so lovely out here. You've never seen such a sight. The lush green land spreads out in all directions, rambling up and down in gentle hills. You can hear a swift river nearby and bird calls. The air smells fresh and new. Love that new air smell. Oh, I've played Sierra games. If I walk over that bridge 3 times, it's going to collapse on me. The smokehouse is small, but looks like it gets the job done. A grate close to the ceiling is blackened by wood smoke. You can see the orchard to the north, a forest clearing to the west, and the river to the south. You open the smokehouse door. That doesn't look very appetizing. The bag of rock salt is folded closed. You scoop up a handful of rock salt. This looks like it might be a pickle barrel, or a barrel for salted meat. An array of smoked meat and fish are hanging. Get your rock salt. And fish are hanging to dry and cure. A work table with a deeply scratched work surface is against one wall. You see a big bag of salt, a barrel, and a large pot. The large pot is probably used for some stage of food preparation, but you're not knowledgeable in these processes. The temptation to take the meat and snack on it constantly is very strong. You overcome it. You certainly can't pry it open with your bare hands, and there's no real need for me to open it. Oh, I'd better be careful and not stray too close to the raging river. This stippling is doing some wild stuff with Twitch compression. Is it? Does it look bad? Have I done a... Am I streaming? Am I doing bad streaming? Oh, no. It looks okay to me. I guess the text is kind of hard to follow. No, it's good. Okay. Don't go chasing waterfalls. You should stick to the slow, safe rivers and the lakes that you're used to. This song, I cannot caution enough how you should look up the lyrics of that song before you do it at karaoke. You assume it's going to be a fun time, and then you're like, oh, this is about AIDS. This is quite a long song about AIDS, and I'm singing it to a room of people who are getting more uncomfortable. Oh, thank God the chorus is here, but we all remember. Oh, better be careful and not stray too close to the edge of the jetty. Now, does this count as a separate death? Heed warnings and stay away from dangerous bodies of water. Oh, you weren't ready for this jetty. So that's the same death, though, so I don't get a special achievement. There's a jetty here overlooking the rushing river. Cattails line the riverbed, and there's a rotting log lying on its side. A dirt path leads north into the forest. West leads to the bridge, and east to the waterfall. The rotten log is well on its way to returning to the earth. It's covered in moss and is starting to cave in. The rotten log is full of moss and gross bugs. And a little metal whistle. You take the duck call from the rotten log. The words F.A. Allen Monmouth, Illinois are stamped into the duck call. That course of action yields no result. You put the duck call to your lips and blow. Oh, damn. These are the people who shouldn't throw stones. The people who live in this house.
The Piscatty Goose.
There's a boathouse and a dock here. A canoe bobs up and down with the river current. Cattails, hi Dirgeballistic, line the riverbed. You can see a cliff looming to the west, forest to the north, and the bridge to the east. You'd never pull a cattail. You wouldn't steal a book. The interior of the boathouse smells damp, which is no surprise. Canoes and oars are stored here. You see a tackle box. You prefer walking. There is a hammer inside the tackle box. Oh, I suppose this is a toolbox. You can see a hammer in the old tackle box. You take the hammer. The hammer doesn't benefit from closer examination. It's a small hammer. This will be perfect for helping you get rock specimens. There is a steep cliff here with a rather scenic waterfall flowing from hidden crevices. The cliff face hosts a thriving colony of what you assume are double-crested cormorants. They clearly enjoy nesting here. You can see the boathouse east of here, and the faintest indication of the carriage house to the north. Kimmy is here. Kimmy is intently watching the cormorants nesting up on the cliff face. Her suitcase is beside her. She couldn't even wait to stow her luggage back in our room. Wow, she's keen. I'd better be careful not stray too close to the edge of the river. Man, Kimmy doesn't give a fuck. Damn, Kimmy, that was cold. Nancy? Alright. Let's bust out a little Kimmy chat. Oh, hi, Nancy. I didn't see you there. Bird. Are stunning, aren't they? I feel so fortunate to be seeing this. My suitcase was my mother's when she came to Canada. It's a bit worse for wear, but I love it. You imagine the double-crested cormorant would raise a bit of a fuss if you tried to put it in your bucket. Oh, this type of rock formation is exactly what I've been hoping to see. Oh, what a breathtaking view of the Canadian Shield. This is the heart of the North American continent. 8 million square kilometers of Precambrian bedrock. What a marvel. You've reached the western limit of the property. To the north, you can see the carriage house. The roar of rushing water is to the south. East leads deeper into the woods. There is a huge boulder here, and Albert is here. Albert Respa is a stately, well-groomed gentleman in his 50s. His monocle gives him an elegant air. Antwerp sent him as an expert mineralogist to verify the diamond claim in Crimson. You have a hard time imagining him doing field work. Albert is studiously examining the glacial erratic. He has his kit beside him. Albert Respa's field kit lies open on the ground. You miss your field kit so much. Even at a casual glance, you can tell this is a glacial erratic, most likely granite. Glacial erratics were deposited millions of years ago by receding glaciers. Like the Bleasdale boulder out in Trenton. I read about it in a book. Granite forms at 30 miles below the Earth's surface at most. Diamonds form around 100 miles down, in the Earth's mantle. I'd say it's pretty unlikely that this boulder is geologically relevant to my fieldwork. However, scientific rigor behoves me to take a boulder sample. Good morning, Mr. Respa. How are you today?
I'm very busy, Miss.
Maple.
Miss Maple. I'm very busy, as you can see. The fieldwork must be comprehensively performed.
Well, maybe that boulder isn't a good place to start. It looks to be a glacial erratic, and...
Excuse me, young lady. Are you trying to tell me my business? How amusing. Run along, then. Maybe you can help Jack in the kitchen.
Wow, Mr. Respa. That's some field kit you've got there. May I borrow a pick from you?
Certainly not. You would only damage these fine instruments.
I won't be getting a pick this way. I'm sure I can find one for myself.
Excuse me?
I was curious about your professional interest in this glacial erratic. This rock is granite, which is a type of intrusive igneous rock, but not the appropriate type.
Will you please leave me alone?
Well, granite has a high quartz content, whereas diamonds are found in ultra-basic rock that is low in quartz.
What will make you stop?
Furthermore, granite and diamonds don't even come from the same depth in the earth.
Listen, Miss.
Miss Nancy Maple, Mr. Respa.
Yes, Miss Maple. I've had just about enough of your help. I'm returning to the lodge to get out of this sun. When I return to my work, you will not interrupt me. Do I make myself clear?
Okay, Mr. Respa. Unbreakable. I should take advantage of Albert's absence and study that fascinating boulder. Yeah, Papa Poirot would never be like this. Albert's a little peeved at me already. I shouldn't antagonize him any further. Maybe if I ask him nicely, he'll let me borrow his tools. He won't. We tried. The carriage house is larger than many homes back in the city. It has an asymmetrical roof and 2 entrances. The main entrance is a set of double doors for the automobile. The smaller side door is for people. North leads to a gazebo, east to the lodge, and south eventually leads to the river. You open the carriage house door. Some kind of jalopy. It appears that the carriage house was once used as a stable. Her name was Rio, and she speedwagoned the sand. The stall is empty, but there are some old hay bales being stored on the upper level. North leads to a gazebo, east to the lodge, and south eventually leads to the river. You don't need to open the stall. It's an REO touring car. You spent more hours than you'd like in that automobile. You get sore just looking at it. That course of action gives no result. That's a slow-ass animation, Nancy. Even a city girl such as yourself can tell that those hay bales are old and dusty. Seems there hasn't been much need of them in a long time. Well, why was this up here? It's a fucking hayloft. Why are you being shitty? Oh, that's what I should have done, Neil, is I should have typed in eat hay. Colin Hay, men at work. They're on tour right now with Toto. Tickets are like $250. For a minute I was like, I'd go see Toto, but not for $250. There is a huge gazebo here, or maybe it's a bane-stained. It's built close enough to the lodge to be convenient, yet far enough away not to disturb guests in their rooms with sounds of revelry. The lodge is to the east, and the carriage house is to the south. While you are uncertain whether or not this is a gazebo or a Banestain, you know it's definitely not a pergola. The gazebo has a red roof and is painted bright white. You can imagine it was the site of much entertainment and celebration, but no longer. This is the west side of the house. A cobblestone path leads west to a gazebo. South of here is the front section of the lodge. North is dense forest. Can I go into the forest? This is the front eastern section of the lodge. A stone path leads east to the orchard. South of here is the forest. West of here is the lodge's front door. Boy, they really turned up the Zork for like 2 screens there, Vin says. Hi, Vin. This is the east side of the house. There's a door built into the ground, most likely leading to a cellar. Some people might call it a cellar door. You can see a shed and veggie patch east of here. South of here is the front section of the lodge. North is dense forest. The cellar door is locked. There's a garden shed here, as well as a well-tended vegetable patch and a water pump. Bird amenities include a bird bath, bird feeder, and a birdhouse. North is an impassable wall of dense forest and bush. East is an impassable wall of dense forest and bush. When you look west, you can see the lodge. When you look south, you see the orchard. The birdhouse is mounted on a tree. The white marble bird bath is mounted on a pedestal. The wooden bird feeder sits atop but is apparently not mounted on a long pole, probably to keep the squirrels out. Vin in chat asks, am I the only one who doesn't actually find the phrase cellar door particularly compelling? Sorry, you can't do that. You wouldn't dare. The blue water pump probably comes in handy for watering the vegetable patch and refilling the bird bath. You open the door to the garden shed. The interior of the shed is clean and well organized. There is a table and a stool. A shelf at the back holds various garden tending tools. A length of rope hangs from a nail on the wall. Take rope. You take the rope. While you believe having this type of tool could be handy for your field work, this one is a bit bulky to be carrying around. The garden trowel is hanging by a nail that is nailed into the shelf. Terrific. Now I can dig the riverbank for specimens. That doesn't seem to work. The shelves contain all sorts of garden-related miscellany. Plant food, pesticides, herbicides, seeds, pots, a spray bottle, watering can, and a lantern. Nothing particularly useful. The table and stool are somewhat mismatched in height, leading you to conclude that they were probably not a set. There is a box of fly paper on the table. Either that isn't here, or you see no need for it. You pick up the box of fly paper. I don't know what this voice I'm doing as the narrator is, but it's a voice I have a lot of fun with. It borders on like a Jeffrey Wright kind of thing. It's not as warm as Jeffrey Wright's voice. I think of it sometimes as the voice they give to Jack's dad on American Dad. Stan's dad on American Dad. It's a voice I like a lot. I don't get a lot of chances to use. In some ways, I like it almost as much as the Skellington. Not quite, though. I haven't met a character in this that I like enough yet to give the skeleton voice to. That's very precious. I guess I could have given it to Nancy, but she's so goddamn Kimmy Schmidt that it feels weird not to just give her bright optimism. I don't know if anyone else actually enjoys the voices, but I sure do. Don't get any funny ideas, Nancy. Besides, you doubt you could pull it out. This apple orchard looks like it's in the process of being harvested. Ripe red apples hang on the trees and litter the ground beneath them. You see a bushel and a tree stump with an axe buried in it. You can see the garden shed in the distance to the north. West leads back to the house, and south leads to the smokehouse. The bushel is made of wooden slats and has a long handle. How bothered would Jack be if he came back to this chore and the basket was missing? Oh, these look like those very tart apples that hurt my teeth. Good for pies, but not for eating. Watch out for Estelle Jetty. Yeah, I noticed that, Neil. That's very sweet. Well, I can't leave yet. I haven't accomplished my goals. That's how I feel about life. Let's check that old notebook. Eavesdrop on boudoir door. Oh, I think we already got that. Okay. I still need a pick of some kind. This is the mood room. This is the little parlor.
Powder room.
It wouldn't let me take the axe, Vin. Hey, eggs. So far, this game has had one puzzle. So I wouldn't get your hopes up for the puzzles. My bet is it's your own grandmother behind it all. Probably. Old Granny Maple. Yeah, we played this game for 2 hours last night, and there was one puzzle. And a lot of charm. And one murder. I did get Nancy killed. I did get old Nancy Maple killed. Which I still can't tell if this is a game where there's a murderer around, or if that was just like they just really wanted to do the Psycho homage. I saw the dev for this on Blue Sky talking it up today, and I was like, I don't think I want them to know that I'm doing this, because I'm doing silly voices for these characters that they probably have a lot of affection for. Oh, busy kitchen! Busy kitchen. Oh, D. Oh, hello, Evan. So we meet again. No, that's Jack. Jack's not a beatnik. He's a hard-working man. He does look like a beatnik here. The kitchen has a rough-hewn, rustic charm. The lack of decorations and fine furnishings implies that this room wasn't meant to be seen by the lodge's guests. There are cupboards along the walls and an icebox in the corner. A door in the west wall leads to the main floor hallway. I don't think I need to tell you where all the doors go. You see a puddle under the icebox. A strip of yellow flypaper dangles near the door. Jack is here. Albert is here. Also, he's not actually Swede. I just gave him that voice. Oh dear, looks like the ice is melting and leaking out of the icebox. Oh, icebox. open it. The ice block has melted a bit. There's now a puddle on the floor. Oh dear, I guess the ice box is a bit leaky. Yeah, I am going to have to rent a motorcycle later, Egg, so thank you for reminding me I can use the flypaper for that. Examining the block of ice with the loop does not reveal any additional information. The ice block has melted a bit, rendering it a bit more transparent. There seems to be something frozen inside. You bash the ice block a few times with the hammer. Huh. Well, that doesn't seem to be doing the trick. I need something pointier. You close it. That doesn't look very appetizing.
Oh, jeez, I'll use my wit on it. My sharp wit.
Hey, Jack, you look a little bothered. Anything I can help you with? Never you mind, miss. But if you want to busy yourself, I've been missing my ice pick for at least a week. I don't need it right now, but it's just been on my mind, you know? Is the ice pick frozen inside the ice? How wicked.
You're too curious.
The ice block has a bit of a leak in the door. It lets a bit of heat in, melting ice out. During the day, the melt makes a little puddle, but pay that no mind. I'll mop it up when I got time. I can't remember where I left it. A shame, because I can't chip off bits of ice for drinks. I'm not sure that I want Albert to return to his work at the erratic boulder yet. I haven't gotten a sample from that area yet. Sorry, can't help you. I'm busy enough without worrying about other people's things. Okay. So, maybe I don't need the... Maybe I can just get the sample off the boulder through good old-fashioned hammer work. Let's go find out. How long until Cole plays this game on stream? And it's got no horror elements, but... Uh-oh, where did Albert's kit go? Oh no. Someone keeps stealing geologic kits around here. You have a strong tool to obtain a glacial erratic sample, but now you need a sharp tool to help chip off some of the boulder. I'm sorry, Nancy. I don't know anything about that. I'm afraid I don't know what happened to your kit, Nancy. It was a long journey. I was asleep sometimes, and there were plenty of people moving about. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Cole did some fuser today. I popped in for a second. It was good. You put the duck call to your lips and blow. A duck? Oh, where? Gimme could be back at any moment. What if she caught you going through her things? Oh, and it's probably locked besides. Well, then why did I... Oh, maybe they just won't let me... Okay, so she won't let me take the samples unless I make her go away with the duck call. So, take cormorant. I tried to take cormorant earlier and the game just wouldn't let me. Ooh, that would have been good. Throw a suitcase in the river. In a van. Down by the river. Right? Right? Chris Farley. The late. This is Evan Richards' well-appointed study. We read all this last night. Evan Richards is a husky, weather-beaten man in his mid-60s. He owns Crimson. An antler is like a nice pick. Isn't that the famous Lewis Carroll riddle? He owns Crimson Lodge, although his sister Nessa might have something to say about that. He seems gruff and bothered about having his wildlife idyll disturbed, which isn't that unusual considering he is a recluse. He looks pretty irritable right now. Could you clear out of here, Nancy? Jack and I gotta talk. Oh, pardon me. You can't use antler in this game. Although the moose head looks pretty impressive on the wall, you can't help but feel a twinge of sympathy for the animal. Dunno. He's around. Busy guy. What? You can't use firepower in this game. Oh. Neil, I genuinely didn't. I wasn't even making fun of you. I just didn't ask him if it was real manure. You're suggesting that he resembles the actor and comedian Tom Wilson from the film Back to the Future. This is the bathroom where we almost got stabbed. My favorite dog is a blonde lab. This is a pretty large bedroom. There's a love seat and an armchair arranged around a low table. There's a wardrobe, dresser, and a painted cupboard. Nessa is here. Corvus is here. It's a lodge, Eggs. What do you want? Well, look who's back. Damn, right, I'm telling you it's really true. I don't care at all about that. What I know about that would probably go over your head. So, Eggs, you said you were pretty tired. We're going to stick around real long? The water glass and pitcher are set on Albert's nightstand. What a thoughtful and hospitable touch. Well, polished and sparkling to Jack's high standard. You've already got a drinking glass. You don't need another. That course of action yields no result. Well, those are Albert's books. He wouldn't appreciate that. Eggs, I was just kidding around. I liked your Ice Pick Lodge joke. The luggage is locked. The luggage is locked. You open the drawer. The bed is so neatly made, you can't think of a good reason to alter its current state. There's a leather satchel on this bed. This satchel looks like the type used to carry important documents. Corvus's satchel is locked. You never like getting smudges on your hands. Oil paintings are hung over the two beds in this room. One features a majestic mountain range, and the other depicts a tuxedo cat lying on grass, surrounded by flowers. Why, that cat reminds me of the sweetest stray I've ever met. A tuxedo cat, just like that. Margot is Evan Richards' paramour. She is more glamorous than you'd expect to see in these parts. Margot has shining flaxen hair, fair skin, and full lips. She's fashionably attired in a pink damask and ivory lace dress. She seems sweet, but you've met charmers like her before. Margot is reclining on a plush chaise lounge. She looks a bit listless. Ah, man, what was the voice here? I'm afraid I'm not feeling better. I don't think I'll be coming down to dinner. I'm sorry to hear that, Margot. Jackie is so helpful. What would we do without him? I'm sure if you just ask, he'd be happy to help you too. Sure. All right. Oh, wait. That's not... Oh, mon cher, he is under so much stress right now. If only there was some way I could improve his mood. Ah, yes, I've just thought of something. But never mind about that. Oh, Mademoiselle Maple, I wish I knew. The poker might poke through your pocket and puncture your leg. Well, we've gone to all the places and thought about all the things and seen all the people and dreamed all the dreams. You take the kettle, but you resolve not to leave the kitchen with it. You can't imagine someone just walking away with your kettle. You eagerly pour some hot water onto the ice block. Aha! Some of the ice has melted away, revealing a wooden handle. You bash the ice block a few times with the hammer. Huh, doesn't seem to be doing the trick. I need something pointier. You close it. I believe the ice pick is frozen in the ice. Oh, there we go. After a few tugs, you're able to pull the wooden handle out of the ice block. The rest of the tool is pointy and made of metal. Hooray! It looks like I found an ice pick. Why, Jack must have left the ice pick on top of the ice block, and when the ice melted and refroze, it gradually got swallowed up! You close the ice box. Ice is expensive, and surely hard to come by in these parts. Nah, you keep it for now. When I need it, I'll ask. You can't use that. Games suck. I'm not about to haul this hot kettle around with me. Before you leave the room, you return the kettle to the stove. Time to get some samples. Oh, riverbanks are prime locations for mineralogical samples. All sorts of minerals and precious metals can be found in rivers. In fact, the Klondike Gold Rush kicked off in a creek much like this one. Yeet kettle. Wow, that's like 2 Office references. Really, isn't throwing the kettle, isn't that an Office reference? Office UK. You dig a lump of dirt out of the riverbank. You're surprised at how deep you have to dig before you find minerals of any kind. You take advantage of the handy-dandy river and wash the dirt away from your sample. Wonderful. Looks like I've obtained a good sample from the riverbank. Oh, I still need to collect 2 more samples from outside the lodge. And I don't have a scratch plate. I'll have to improvise. A bit of unglazed porcelain would do the trick. A bit of undigested beef. You chip a sample out of the glacial erratic using the ice pick and the hammer. It's essential to make my fieldwork comprehensive and include everything geologically interesting, even if it doesn't apply to my goals. Maybe one day someone will be conducting fieldwork on glacial erratics, in which case my observations would be vital. Well, I still need to collect one more sample from outside the lodge. I have the boulder sample. I shouldn't delay Albert any further. I'll go have a word with him. Don't disturb the cormorants. Oh, I'm sorry. Trees are nature's rock. In some ways, though, candy is nature's chrysanthemum. I don't know if you were here when I explained at the top of the stream that I'm so fucking tired. I took a nap today and I'm still very, very, very tired. A duck where? Kimmy distracted. You chip a sample out of the cliff using the ice pick and the hammer. Hooray! Looks like I've obtained a good cliff sample. Oh, I should ask Albert about quickly borrowing a tool or two from his kit. The tools would help so much, and I'd put them right back. I should go and ask his permission. I don't have a scratch plate. I'd have to improvise. A bit of unglazed porcelain would do the trick. Did we see anything that looked like it could... I need unglazed porcelain. I mean, I could just break off part of the fucking toilet. Ramsum slept from like 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. today. Yeah, no, I slept for like I slept for an hour and then dozed for another hour after my work shift. Take tile. The tiles are firmly grouted into place. Also, you don't need them, you dumb shit. Stupid Nancy, stupid.
You want a vandal?
What, like the dinner plates? You want a porcelain plate? They're in the kitchen cupboards. Neil has a thought but will resist backseating. On the napping? You take a plate from the cupboard. Huh. Well, I think this plate is porcelain. Or maybe I can use it as a streak plate. Well, I should take a look at it and see. There are fine scratches on this plate, indicating it's been well used.
Is there no respite from you?
Should I ask him about his kit? Oh, birdbath would have been a good choice. Salt the ice. I could have salted the ice. Oh. I learned to type playing games like this. The typical components of a field kit are a loupe or magnifying glass, which enables closer inspection of specimens, an unglazed porcelain plate for streak tests, a glass plate to test hardness. Although if I'm trying to distinguish diamonds from other minerals, particularly garnets, I'll probably need something harder than glass or porcelain. Kit? You mean Albert's kit? I've got enough to keep track of around here. You all are responsible for your own things. Say, Mr. Respa, may I borrow a tool or two from your kit? I promise to put them right back once I'm done with them.
Certainly not. I've had enough of a break. I'm returning back to work now.
Albert abruptly turns on his heel and makes for the door. Oh, but he's going to find out his kit's stolen. Albert is gone for a while. You're about to leave the kitchen when you hear his heavy footsteps once more.
My field kit's gone. Did you do this, Jack?
No, I surely didn't.
Where is it? Mr. Richards will hear of this.
Who knows? Could be a bear carried it off. You can't go leaving stuff outside unattended. I don't think Mr. Richard cares much about your problems. Why don't you just sit tight till the bridge is repaired? Then you can get out of here and never come back.
My superiors will send me a replacement kit. Take me to the train station immediately.
Can't. Car's broken. Darndest thing. I put it in the carriage house and the part broke right off, and I haven't got a replacement. Nathan's got a car and spare parts, only he's not around, you know. So please, go make yourself a drink and enjoy some of our northern hospitality. Albert glares, but says nothing. Well, I still need to find a streak plate and rub the samples on it. Well, maybe I already have something on hand that will work as a streak plate. I should take a look. This plate might work as a streak plate. I should take a look at it. What are you carrying right now, Nancy? You have a drinking glass. That's the rock salt. A new box of flypaper with a drawing of an unsettlingly large fly on the front. There's a very small label on the side of the cover. Oh, the box feels a bit light. The label sports a skull and crossbones. Thanks to your loop, you can read, "Danger, contains arsenic. Do not eat." I should look at this river sample first to easily eliminate specimens that are definitely not diamonds. You don't see anything exceptional about the ice pick, but it would make a fine pick for your field work. As expected, the rock salt is composed of irregularly shaped crystals, but are generally cubic in shape. They are whitish to colorless. Well, some of the crystals appear irregularly shaped, more octahedral than cubic, but salt is fairly brittle and is water soluble, so they can be just about any shape. The surface of the Jordan almond is disconcertingly smooth and unblemished. Can nothing scratch its indomitable shell? You admire the brilliant shine of the squeaky clean drinking glass. Your hat looks pretty good considering you got it secondhand. Closer examination reveals the cutting edge has chunks taken out of it. You're a little surprised at this, but the area is known for garnet mines after all. The hempen rope is right laid and 3-stranded. Thin. Nice. Upon closer inspection, you can see that the cliff sample is coarse-grained, leading you to conclude it is an intrusive igneous rock. Well, diamond is an intrusive igneous rock, meaning they form below the Earth's surface, where they had time to form into larger crystals. It's possible that this area could be geologically suitable for diamonds. Closely examining the glacial sample with the loop, you can definitively conclude that this is granite. Well, this sample has a phenoritic texture. That means the crystals that make up this boulder can be seen by the naked eye. Now, this particular specimen is composed mostly of quartz and some feldspar, which is typical. At first glance, it's clear that the cliff sample is igneous rock. This is consistent with what you'd expect for an area known for garnets. The cliff sample boasts a variety of fine specimens. It's pocketed with red and white stones. Well, my, I can see why this area was so good for garnet mining. You look at the glacial sample. You took it for granted. Sorry. Oh, no. Oh, everybody, I said it. Oh, no. The game was making the took it for granted joke, but I said granted. I don't know what to do from here, folks. I don't actually know if I don't like ending these streams at 66 minutes. I usually like to go for the full 120. But it's at this exact moment, continuing does feel impossible because
The joke was you took it for granted, and I did say granted, and I'm out of coffee. Call John for support. John's sick and tired, and my mom was already asleep. There's no one I can reach out to in this moment of greatest need. So we're just gonna move on, I guess. Sucks.
A visual inspection of the river sample helps you separate the rocks from the possible minerals.
Well, rocks are a combination of more than one mineral, so it's easy for me to remove those from the sample by visual inspection. I've also removed the red stones from the sample, as those are clearly garnets and not the subject of this fieldwork. There, now I can analyze the sample using other methods.
Closely examining the river sample with the loupe, you can see that some of the specimens have tiny arching scratches and a pitted frosted surface.
Well, some of this is river glass, so I can eliminate those specimens from the sample. River glass and sea glass are bits of glass that have been tumbled with water and stones for years. It can sometimes look like minerals.
The river sample requires a different analysis in order for you to learn more.
Oh, it's possible that I picked up something earlier that I could use as a streak plate. Streak plates are used for ascertaining a mineral's streak color, but any minerals harder than a 6.5 or 7 won't make a streak. I can rub samples on the plate to see their color.
Your streak plate has a Mohs hardness of 6.5. You rub the specimens from the river sample on the streak plate. One of the specimens produces a white streak.
The streak plate probably has a Mohs hardness of about 6.5, so this specimen is softer than that. Since diamonds have a Mohs hardness of 10, I can conclude that this part of the specimen is not a diamond.
The remaining specimens from the river sample don't make any streaks on the streak plate.
When a specimen doesn't make a streak, this is sometimes called a colorless streak. The streak plate has a Mohs hardness of 6.5 to 7. That means the minerals in this specimen are harder than that. Garnets can have a hardness of up to 7.5, and diamonds have a Mohs hardness of 10, so they wouldn't make a streak. I wonder if Albert will let me borrow one of his Mohs hardness picks so I can test the remaining bits of my river specimen. Wonderful! I'm satisfied with my fieldwork and analysis for today. It's getting late, but I'm pleased with my work today.
Your stomach rumbles. It's dinner time. Proceed to the dining room when you're ready to eat.
Is there any good eavesdropping to do before we... He's my boss. I do as he says. This is like all of our information. I'm going to walk around the lodge real fast and see if there's any eavesdropping I can do first before we move on. I'm just missing Nancy's eavesdropping face. I really enjoyed it. Oh, hello.
Albert alternates between sipping brandy and smoking his cigar.
Well, he seems to have calmed down pretty quickly.
My field kit seems to have gone missing. You wouldn't know about that, would you?
I'm afraid not, Mr. Respa.
You are too curious. Why are you asking me about dinnerware? Please, Miss Maple, I do not need a neophyte interfering with my work.
Anybody doing any evil plots? I'm so excited for my evil plot. You don't feel comfortable eavesdropping here. Oh, this is where she doesn't feel comfortable eavesdropping. Fair enough.
Alright, I don't think the game state has changed. So, I'm gonna go to dinner. If we miss some stuff in this one, I'll live. I just want to get to the murders. What if Nancy Maple's the murderer? Wow, I've certainly worked up an appetite. Jack has prepared a delicious dinner of salted pork and buttered parsnips. I don't know if I've ever had a parsnip. Margot hasn't come down for dinner. Evan says she's not feeling well. Excellent job. Kudos on your thorough investigative technique. So, Albert, I hear your field kit has gone missing. Too bad. Albert narrows his eyes.
Mr. Richards, you must realize this is merely a delay. Nothing more.
See, I don't know about that. There's a war on. Canada might have bigger fish to fry soon enough. I got a feeling all this could get forgotten about.
Well, I won't have my possessions stolen. Surely the lodge has a way to secure valuables.
Yeah, sure. There are 2 trunks in the upstairs closet. Jack's got keys. I've only got a key for the blue trunk. You can lock your stuff in there.
That will have to do. And if something goes missing, there will be no mistaking who's to blame. And what about the automobile? Has it been fixed yet?
Hey, Jack and I have looked at the automobile. I don't have the part with me, but I'll bring it the next time I visit.
I suppose that will have to do.
I don't care, one way or the other. Everyone seems to be eager to escape the dinner table. Oh, these dinners are pretty tense. You follow Jack into the kitchen and help him with the dishes. Gee, thanks, miss. Oh, can you do me another favor? Take this bowl of broth up to Margot. She's still not feeling well. She's in her boudoir. She says being surrounded by beautiful things makes her feel better. Oh, sure thing, Jack. Game has auto-saved. A steaming bowl of wholesome broth. The steam from the broth fogs up your loop. You can't really examine it more closely. Well, this broth is from Margot. I wouldn't dream of it. Oh, wrong thing. You are surprised to discover that the box of flypaper is empty. Huh, well this looks like a new box. Where's all the flypaper? Well, Jack, the box of flypaper is empty. Eh? I could have sworn that was a fresh box of this stuff. Well, I'm a busy man. Must have slipped my mind. Looks like we're out. I hear voices near this doorway. I wonder what they're talking about. Yeah, Margot's probably dead. Oh yeah, it's a myth that cormorants hunt fish that are prized by fishermen. Unfortunately, the birds have been subject to many attempted exterminations. This colony suffered when Crimson was a garnet mining town, but it's recovered since. The nesting colony on the cliffs to the southwest of the lodge is the only intact example for many kilometers. I'm so relieved to hear that the colony survived. Nature is so resilient. God, look at Nancy's fucking eavesdropping face. God, she loves eavesdropping more than she loves talking about rocks. It is, to a point. But should the government return and claim this land for its so-called precious stones, the entire nesting colony will be at risk. This cannot be allowed to happen. Oh dear. Nathan and Kimmy continue to chat about cormorants and other birds. You find yourself starting to nod off. God, my listening in on the private conversations of others is so fucking boring. I could just fall asleep. Hate to eavesdrop. If you're going to be having private conversations where you suggest that we must stop the government from doing whatever it wants to do so that birds can suddenly appear over here, over there, you should really make them more interesting, shouldn't you?
What I know about that would probably go over your head. Mrs. Crab hired me to help her deal with the legal implications of this situation. We will determine who truly inherits this land, will or no. He was more German, I think, before. I'll work on it. I'll keep working on it. Ask about Will. Do you like him? Do you think he's handsome or tall? I thank you for offering, but I am not interested in that. Oh, this broth is from Margot. I wouldn't dream of it. Margot, Jack made some broth for you. Ah, he is so wonderful. Please set it down on this table. Yeah, give it a second, Vin. Can't use last in this game. I thank you for offering, but I am not interested in that. All right, not a Catholic. Oh, hello, Nessa. I hear voices near this doorway. I wonder what they're talking about. Yes, eavesdrop with cup. With the help of the drinking glass, you can hear a conversation behind the boudoir door. Nessa, what do you want? Jack asked me to bring this water up to you. And I thought we could have a little chat besides. I think the broth is very poisoned. Most poisoned. I knew there was a catch. I know how hard it is for us women to make it in the world. Is that so? Indeed, particularly for women who have lived particularly roughly. Such as yourself. What do you mean? I have a very good memory for faces, and there's no mistaking one as pretty as yours. That bad bit of business up in Skagway. Oh, the Mounties never caught you, though they did try. There were wanted posters pasted up as far south as Niagara Falls. Break it off with Evan and leave Crimson, and maybe I won't tell. Ha! The things I've seen, the things I've done. You don't frighten me, you old hag. You will get nothing, do you hear me? I will make sure of that. Skagway was lawless because people look the other way. But up here, there is no one to see what could happen. Watch out! I figured as much. Silly little gold digger. You watch out. Game has auto-saved. The bowl of broth is spilled. Thankfully, it hasn't dripped onto the luxurious carpet. Unrelated, but Will, have you read Kate Beaton's Ducks? No, I have not. I am generally I've probably read all the way through O Hark a Vagrant twice. I'm a big admirer of Kate Beaton's work, but I have not read Ducks. A clumsy me. I have accidentally knocked it over. But do not worry. I would prefer this refreshing water. I do not usually keep a pitcher of water in my room, but I'm not feeling so well right now. Why, you aren't carrying any water to drink right now. Mademoiselle, please leave that where it is. I'm not feeling well, and I'd like to have some water nearby.
You can't use lap in this game. She needs to leave. She is not welcome here. Margot narrows her eyes and hesitates before she speaks. I may not have been entirely honest about Skagway in the past, but it is a dangerous place. Take my word for it. I will not speak more on it. No one wants to talk about Skagway. Why will no one speak to me of Skagway? I've gotta get me some Skagway or the highway.
I don't think I have an objective right now, do I? Vin, didn't you say you were going to go to bed? Oh, yeah, the old Klondike Gold Rush. Place was a real boomtown and rough, not a place for refined folk. It's mostly deserted now, I think. Kinda like here, huh? Nessa's got a jewelry box in her room. I dust around it. She's pretty protective. Can't say I got much to say about that. Jack tells us Skagway is so cute.
Ask about Skagway.
Is that up in Alaska? I'd love to see some Arctic terns.
Hey, Skagway's a town in Alaska. It was once a booming gold rush town. At its height, Skagway was lawless and full of opportunists, dangerous people, and scam artists. Crimson followed a similar trajectory, boom and bust. I hope history don't repeat itself here again.
Ask about Skagway. Oh, my pa would talk and talk about Skagway and the Klondike Gold Rush. He'd wish he'd picked gold instead of garnet sometimes. Guess my life would have been real different if he'd have gone even further north. Then again, Crimson never got as rowdy as Skagway. Har. It's not from round here, you mark my words. I don't think much of him, but he was sent by the government, so I can't kick him out. But you can't pick your family, you know. She's my gal. But
We can't use Sicily in this game. You can't use Ed in this game. Thank you, Vin. You can't use blackmail in this game. The door is locked.
what door is this? It's the servants' quarters are locked.
Ask about Frederick Trump running sex workers in Skagway.
Well, Skagway's a seedy little town in Alaska, full of criminals and hustlers. After the gold rush ended, it was mostly deserted. Good riddance. Although, All those undesirables must have ended up somewhere. An unsavory character of ill repute. Nice girls like you should stay away from her. Well, why do you say that? I prefer not to say. It's not a subject for polite conversation. Excuse me, why on earth would you ask me about that? How impudent.
You aren't tired right now. I'm not sleepy.
A fine family of good moral character passed from son to son. Maybe if I go check on Margot, she'll be dead now? Nope. Can you just breathe in this game?
You have discarded the softer specimens from the river sample. You are left with 2 colorless minerals with a Mohs hardness of greater than 6.5. Closer inspection of the river sample with the loop reveals nothing new. These hard little minerals will require further study, but you're currently unequipped for that.
Oh, I need to give the bowl back to Jack. Take bowl.
You clean up the spill and decide to take the empty bowl back downstairs for Jack to wash. Merci beaucoup, mademoiselle. You are so helpful. I didn't have much of an appetite right now anyway. This water is enough for me. The bowl is empty and needs to be washed.
Well, I should take this back down to Jack.
Residue from the broth clings to the sides of the bowl.
Oh, this bowl needs a wash. I should give it back to Jack. Doesn't look very appetizing.
Because of the poison.
I tried to drink the poison water random sum. Game wouldn't let me drink the poison water. I'm trying to get this woman killed. I promise you.
Give bowl to Jack. You hand the empty bowl back to Jack.
Oh, thanks, miss. I really appreciate the help. Tell you what, I'll brew you up a cup of tea and bring it to you in the conservatory.
Oh, gee, thanks. You head into the conservatory. Nathan and Kimmy are still talking about birds. You had no idea anyone could be so keen about a topic. Jack brings you a piping hot cup of chamomile tea from flowers he grew himself. The combination of the warm tea, the comfy couch, and the slightly boring conversation will lull you to sleep. You happily doze on the couch until you are awoken by a commotion upstairs. You head towards the source of the noise and find yourself in Nessa's bedroom. You rush into the room to find Nessa and Evan standing nearly nose to nose in a heated conversation.
Hey, thanks, Neil. I get to sample that audio on a fairly regular basis. We're doing a sleep study. Oh dear. Oh, hi, Nancy. Someone stole my ruby brooch. I demand you recover my brooch and bring the perpetrator to justice. There are so many suspicious people milling about. You mean, besides you? Nathan, for one. It's obvious that he's hanging around just waiting for you to die, so that he can finally get his hands on all of this. And then there's Margot. Enough.
It's clear that Evan is at his limit. His eyes flash with anger momentarily, but it fades just as quickly. He grimaces, birdies, Ronalds, shrugs, and then looks away.
I got my hands full as it is. Curios smashed too. Bunch of stuff's gone. What? Some of that's mine. Someone's robbing me blind. How dare you? You probably misplaced your brooch. As for the curio, I bet you smashed it yourself, because I told you I'd lost the curio key and it was locked up tight. I know you're here to get what you think you're owed, any way you can, so don't expect any of my help. I'm done with this. Keep your voice down, why don't you? Margot's resting. I'm gonna go check on her. Don't get me involved. Huh. Well, I should take a closer look at the jewelry box. And I should also examine the curio cabinet in the room I'm sharing with Kimmy. Oh, I remember reading a mystery novel where fingerprints helped solve a crime.
Game has autosaved. Chapter 3, Investigaciones.
We'll play a little longer. We still got about a half hour left.
The box is definitely empty. You wonder who could have done this. The smooth wood looks unharmed. The box probably wasn't forced open.
I think I see some oily smudges on the jewelry box. Why, this soot I've obtained is pretty powder. It could help me reveal fingerprints. Puddinhead Wilson time. This sticky white tape I've got should be useful for lifting any fingerprints I find. I wonder if there are any other things I can just straight up say are the puzzle solution. Put soot on box.
Unfortunately, that doesn't accomplish anything.
Huh, that's not giving me any response when I type in dust for prints. Well, what seems to be the matter, Nessa? Someone's broken into my jewelry box and stolen my very expensive ruby brooch. Well, oh dear. It's obvious to me that Margot took it, the little vixen. Or maybe it was Nathan. He certainly comes and goes as he pleases. I don't trust him. Kimmy spends a lot of time upstairs. It could have been her. Well, why do you think Nathan took your brooch? Oh, he's Evan's friend, you know. They're thick as thieves. Evan probably wants to give the brooch to his little sweetie once I'm gone. An unsavory character of ill repute. The brooch is worth a lot of money. You must find it for me. Well, I'll see what I can do. I'm a mineralogist, so I guess it probably does have minerals in it. Oh, why do you think Kimmy took your brooch? She's foreign. She probably came to Crimson to rob us all, mark my words. So she's a champ. Inventory. Do I need to, like, make a kit or something?
It's fine black powder.
Let's see if I can dust the other one, or if it's being glitchy. Well, oh dear.
Your eyes are immediately drawn to the smashed glass front of the curio cabinet. Jagged little pills of glass litter the rug. The shattered glass would surely cut your fingers, Nancy. Leave it alone.
Well, uh-oh. The silver steins are missing.
The front of the curio is bordered by jagged teeth of broken glass.
Eek! Someone has broken the glass to gain access to the curio's contents. I wonder who could have done such a thing. Also gives me a blank. You have enough soot. Huh, every time I put that in, I get no response whatsoever. Powdery soot to apply a powdery substance to Nessa's jewelry box to reveal smudges. Find a suitable container for a powder. I am worried that by picking up the soot early, I might have glitched myself somehow. Because I'm getting a lot of things where I'm not getting any response at all. We'll go check on Margot. I hear voices near the doorway. I wonder what they're talking about. You hear Evan's voice. Is he talking to himself? I find it wholesome to be alone the greater part of the time. To be in company, even with the best, is soon wearisome and dissipating. I love to be alone. Oh, mon cher, you say that, but you do not mean it. You know I'm just reading, darling. Skip to my favorite part. The French-Canadian woodchopper. You got it. Do the accent, too. Whatever the lady likes. Oh, Nancy, come sit and listen. My Evan is such a good reader. You are a sweet talker, you. You can if you want, Nancy. I'm reading it anyway. Oh, thanks, but maybe another time. I thank you for saying you liked my look from across the room, though. I appreciate that. Margot is listening intently to Evan read to her. It would be rude to interrupt. Most of these books were my pa's. Brought them all the way from England. Heavy as anything. It's a bug, but I can get around it. Cool. Most of the books are in French. They probably belong to Margot. How? Or is it something I could intuit? Or should I look it up myself so you're not just having to do tech support for me, then? Burn down the lodge. That would get all of the... Is there... Like, I just think it's weird that I'm not being given any feedback about how I shouldn't be doing. I need a container. Okay. Not the glass. But the game's not telling me these things, you know? Is why I'm mildly irritated. Okay, I broke the order, I think, so yeah, you need the container. What's the... Oh, Kimmy probably wouldn't like it if I took the teapot. Besides, stoneware is heavy. It's full of tea, making it even heavier. I just need to refill her mug at the appropriate time. Oh, good evening, Jack. Thanks again for that tea. Oh, it was lovely and so relaxing that I nodded off on the couch for a bit. Glad you enjoyed it. Jack is spooning jam into raw cookies on a tray. There's another tray by the window full of freshly baked cookies that are now cooling. That's about it for the jam. I'm making up some thumbprint cookies. They're Margot's favorite. I'm hoping to get some food in her. She's not feeling well and doesn't have much of an appetite. Thought I had more jars of raspberry jam, though. Mr. Richards loves these cookies, too. He'll put a bunch of them in his pockets to snack on later. Makes doing his laundry a bit more challenging, but I guess I take it as a compliment. These here are Hollangrata. Wait, is he really Swedish? Damn. My grandma used to make them. They're called thumbprint cookies in Canada. Evan and Margot love them. I fill them with raspberry jam that I make myself. Grow the raspberries too. Well, what does Hollangrata mean? Oh, right. It means raspberry cave. Ooh.
Which would you like to take? One of the baked cookies or the raw cookies? Take baked cookie. You take a freshly baked thumbprint cookie from the tray. You eat the delicious thumbprint cookie. It's rich and buttery, and the raspberry jam is intensely colored and flavored, but not too sweet.
Jack, this is delicious. Why, thank you, Miss Maple. I'm very proud of my Hollangrata. This one for puzzles. Sorry, miss. I can't let you take that. I reuse the jars, see? Can't say I got much to say about that. Raspberry jam is Mr. Richard's favorite. I grow the raspberries myself. No, anything that I can't even do dumb joke answers. Oh, Jack, is it okay if I take this raw cookie, the one without any jam? Go right ahead. I ran out of jam anyway, so it's kind of a dud.
You take the raw cookie from the tray. Well done.
Oh my goodness, it's dark as anything out there. I have no need to go out this way right now.
Your mother always told you not to put lit candles in your pockets. She was eccentric and later killed the cat. The way these glasses are made, they aren't useful for much more than drinking. And isn't that enough for you, Nancy?
Well, maybe I can find more versatile drinking glasses in the kitchen.
An empty jar of raspberry jam is on the kitchen table.
Sorry, miss. I can't let you take that.
There's a saucepan in the cupboard. You take the small saucepan.
Oh, if I wanted to use this, I'll be doing it here in the kitchen. I like Jack's cooking too much to permanently deprive him of his saucepan. Oh man, the game doesn't like me to do... It gives me no response when I do anything with the soot.
You take the blue mug.
Oh, that's presumably a reference to Adventure Game Studio, which the logo for which was a blue mug.
The mug has a beautiful blue glaze. The bottom of the mug has an inscription that reads as follows: AG Studio by Chris Jones, model 3.6.0. See? Told you. True to their names, the thumbprint cookies do have Jack's thumbprint imprinted into them. Gross.
Oh, Jack's thumbprint forms the jam reservoir. Too bad it's not really a good sample for comparison.
Yes, Jack's thumbprint is visible in the hollow of the raw cookie, but it's difficult to compare to other fingerprints in its current state.
Well, I need to figure out a way to extract Jack's fingerprint. The raw cookie is far too fragile and hard to see right now. Good night, Wealthy Aardvark.
The saucepan looks pretty old and dented, but still in good working order.
Well, chilling the dough will harden it, but I still wouldn't be able to see what's inside it very well. Ice crystals could form and degrade any useful impressions that are in the fresh dough. Oops, I almost left with this. So is the jam jar what I'm supposed to be trying to get? So I have to find a clean thing of jam to give him the... No, okay. Think smaller container. There's so many containers that I could put things in quite easily. Small, dry. Canada Dry. I know. Well, no. It's very unnerving to me that the I don't get any text response whatsoever when I do anything with the soot. One that might regularly hold powdery substances. Cocaine box? Like, I don't know. It really only takes one glitch for me to kind of start checking out on a game. So... Book and basket. The waste paper basket is full of ink-splattered paper, most likely a result of Corvus's leaky pen. You find a particularly clean fingerprint specimen, neatly tear it out, and take it with you. Aha, you've got Corvus's fingerprint. Congratulations, you've obtained a fingerprint. Type compare fingerprints to check which fingerprints you have yet to obtain. Don't mind me, Corvus. I was being cool. The large bed has a cozy-looking quilt on it. The beds have nice, fluffy pillows on them. Is that just what the pillow looks like? I guess so. That's better. There's a petite round side table with a silvery finish and a low rectangular wooden side table. The vanity is lit with a pair of sconces. It has drawers on the left, right, and middle. Margot's powder compact is on the vanity. Reasoning that you could return the powder should Margot need it again, you take the powder from the vanity. Why, this tin is the perfect container to dispense the soot I've obtained. I should fill the tin with soot before I try dusting anything for fingerprints. Of course, why would that not be necessary? Why, this could come in handy. I'm all set to ask people for their fingerprints, and to reveal fingerprints on smooth surfaces, and to lift those fingerprints with the sticky white tape. Maybe now I can get to the bottom of this. Aha! Powdering Margot's drinking glass reveals a fingerprint. You tear off a piece of tape and press it onto the powdered fingerprint. Well, here's Margot's fingerprint. Unidentifiable. Oh, sure. I try to be efficient once in my life. Go straight to the source. Aha! Powdering the surface of the curio cabinet glass reveals a fingerprint. You tear off the piece of tape and press it onto the powdered fingerprint. You carefully mark the back of this fingerprint as evidence taken from the curio cabinet. Nessa, can I take your fingerprint? It might help me solve who burgled your jewelry box. I read in a book that fingerprint patterns are unique to individuals. I just need to apply some soot. Oh, fine. Do what you need. I'll do anything to find the culprit. You carefully brush some soot onto Nessa's finger, then press a square of adhesive plaster on top. Nessa makes a face while you do this, but says nothing. You've obtained a lovely, clear impression of Nessa's fingerprint. I've heard great things about Red Diamond. Have there been any wacky Sierra-style deaths yet? 2. Yes, I fell in a river and I took a shower without locking the door and got psycho murdered. Okay. I'm liking it. I don't know if I might just play it end up playing it off stream since John will hopefully be back next week and we'll be back to Liza P. It's a nice throwback. I'm waiting for it to be more than just kind of like a throwback to old Sierra games. It's so weirdly, even though it's invoking Laura Bow, very specifically the Colonel's Bequest, it is not necessarily playing like that. Like, that game is so complex and hard to keep track of. This is much more straightforward and simple. But no, it's brewing up to be a fun little mystery. I think somebody might die at some point. Aha, the soot reveals a fingerprint on the side of the jewelry box. Put tape on print. You tear off a piece of tape and press it onto the powdered fingerprint. You carefully mark the back of this fingerprint as evidence taken from Nessa's jewelry box. This is Corvus's room. I already have Corvus's fingerprint. This is Albert's room? Yes. The soot slips off the smooth surface of the drinking glass. I suppose Albert hasn't touched this drinking glass yet.
There have been thefts. I'm not surprised. My field kit went missing too, if you'll recall. No one helped me with that matter, so I shan't concern myself with this.
The handle of the pitcher wouldn't be an ideal place to obtain a fingerprint.
Well, there isn't much surface area on the pitcher's handle. I'm sure I can find a better surface. Oh, he was drinking down in the bar earlier. But that was a while ago. Miss, I'm busy right now. I can't have you soiling my hands. Coating the inside of the raw cookie with soot is going to preserve Jack's fingerprint impression. Quite the opposite. There must be a better way. Chilling the dough will harden it, but I still won't be able to see what's inside it very well. Ice crystals could form. Something that can make a real impression. I'm not much of a baker. I'm sure Jack's far better. Y'all are having some fun in the chat. That's good. Okay, I need to. All right, we'll keep thinking about this. Hey, Neil, if you're doing like hints, I know you're doing it well-meaningly. People hinting when I haven't asked for it is like a number one. Okay, cool, because it drive me nutty. All right, Evan's not in here. Okay. Ask about Prince. Nessa's ruby brooch has gone missing, and the curio cabinet has been broken into. I'm investigating both of these incidents. Collecting fingerprints of everyone in the lodge would be very helpful. There have been thefts? That's not right. I'm happy to provide my fingerprint if that helps. Well, thanks so much, Nathan. Nathan patiently waits while you brush the soot onto his finger, then press a square of adhesive plaster on top. Removing the square of adhesive plaster from Nathan's finger reveals a clear fingerprint. Much appreciated. Good luck. Kimmy, someone's stolen a brooch from Nessa's jewelry box, and the curio cabinet in our room has been broken into. Could I get a fingerprint impression from you to help my investigation? I'm sorry, Nancy, but I don't want to get involved. No, thank you. Pardon me, Nancy, I'm still drinking this. It's still nice and hot. I'd heard there were nesting cormorants in the region. Nowadays, they're rare. Fishermen kill them because they think birds eat up all the fish, but it's not true, poor things. You need to ask Kimmy about refill. What? Oh, Nancy, it was just you.
That sounds like a good quality duck call. I done a bit of mouth calling myself.
You open it. Wait, wait. Is this some Monkey Island shit? No. Okay.
Ladies do not raise their voices, unless it's an emergency, of course, or when nobody's listening to them. In those cases, shouting does help.
May I refresh your cup of tea, Kimmy? Oh, no thanks, Nancy. My tea is still nice and hot.
Well, I don't know anything about that, Miss Maple. Using the ice pick, you chip a bit of ice off of the ice block. You patiently wait until Kimmy sets her mug down.
Fucking deranged adventure game hero behavior.
While Kimmy is distracted by her conversation with Nathan, you surreptitiously slip the ice chips into her mug. As one does. What?
Oh dear, my tea's gotten cold. Oh, Kimmy, let me refresh your tea for you. Oh, thank you, Nancy. How thoughtful. Fucking deranged.
Aha! Powdering Kimmy's mug reveals a fingerprint. You tear off a piece of tape and press it onto the powdered fingerprint. You pour hot tea into Kimmy's mug.
Then don't ask weird questions. Here you go, Kimmy. Nice and hot again. Oh, thanks so much.
Well done.
All right. Oh man, is that really what my voice sounds like? Yeah, it's a power. It's like a sex thing a little bit. I think they've got like a weird role play kind of thing going. Okay, so that is. Oh, what's this greasy black stuff on my fingers? Gotta go. I mean, if I wandered off without refilling the mug, I'd be rude, Neil. All right, everybody, that is where we're going to stop tonight. Well, thank you, the Crimson Diamond, for making me laugh. I'll probably play this off stream, I think. I just don't know when I'd fit it in again, unless John remains sick, which hopefully not. Well, hey, Nancy, want to play some billiards? Help me take my mind off things? Careful you don't scratch. Scratch what?
The balls.
If you scratch the cue ball, that's the white ball. It means you hit that one into one of the pockets. And I don't want to do that. Yes, you don't. I mean, no, you don't. Why don't you try hitting the balls with the cue and I'll give you some pointers. All right, so I'm going to have to scratch the ball on purpose.
Those are balls.
And then he'll pick it up out of the thing, and then I can dust it for prints. And this is a good puzzle. This is a fun series of little puzzles. This is the first like really puzzly thing the game has had me do, so I'm into it. Have a good night, everybody. We'll be back next Friday, hopefully with more Lies of P. Is that like... it's like the 28th or whatever. Quasimodo voice. The balls! The balls! I've never seen Hunchback of Notre Dame, so I don't have a Quasimodo voice in my pocket. Good night, everybody. Yeah, see you next week. Be well and be kind. That's my new sign-off. I like to have a sign-off I don't personally believe.